Welcome, everyone. Slam Pigs Podcast live back once again. Pay-per-view post-show right here on Hibiki TMD on YouTube. But I am not alone. Yes, as was announced when he came back, Michael from regular Slam Pigs cannot make post-shows for his current work schedule, but a dear close personal pal willing to fill in is here. Welcome, making his debut is the brand new co-host of Slam Pigs Podcast for pay-per-views, Red Hot Fire Logan Myers, the Crown Prince of Pepperonis, the Harbinger of Habaneros, the newfound glory of Chicken Nuggets. Man, what's going on, and welcome.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you. I was literally going to make some loud-ass noises right after you said live, just so everybody can think Mike was here, just to play with their feelings. We all know everybody misses Michael, but I'm here to be the heel of this show. And thank God Almighty, Colin is not here.
Oh, and you can catch Colin on Cruise Control on Tuesday. But until then, where can they catch you, Logan, and all your goodness?
Of course, you guys can check me out on Twitter at LoganMyers144. Check out Future Wrestling Podcast right there on YouTube. Go search on YouTube, Future Wrestling Podcast. Go like, subscribe, and enjoy.
And speaking of Future Wrestling Podcast, one of your co-hosts over there on Future Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, which I recommend, get over there, hit that subscribe. Bronson Tron, once again, man, I feel like you're becoming more and more part of the show each week. Welcome back, another guest spot. How's it going? Where can everyone check you out?
Thank you, man. Pleasure's all on this side of the table. Catch me at Bronson Tron. That's it, Bronson Tron.
Boom, splat in your faces. Man doesn't play around. And I feel like we've formed like the Hibiki version of Power Rangers once again. The lovely lady of the evening rounding out, joining us, the same squad for a review. Megan Starr, once again, thank you, my dear, for joining us. What's going on?
Hello. Thank you for having me. It's always fun to be here with the fellas. What's going on? Nothing much, but you can find me at the Megan Starr. That's 2 E's, 2 R's on pretty much everything.
Boom. Boom. And guys, as always, follow me on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD. Check out everything right down below. All the links for everyone here on the show tonight. Until then, guys, some news to talk about tonight. First of all, yes, it's Clash of Champions post show. Thank you to everyone that stopped by the chat this evening. We will do our best to keep up. A little sombering news, though, and apparently this came out days ago that he actually passed away. We're coming to find out before we went on air here, but it was officially announced today by Bill Apter, who I linked to you guys, and I guess some of you guys may have seen. Tom Zink, the Z-Man, a former performer for WWF, WCW, passed away today at the age of 59. Honestly, this is, I don't want to say shocking, because I've seen shoots over the years where this man's, people said he's disappeared, no one's heard from him. He's kind of had a shady, like, in and out of jail, and a sad way, I feel like, for a guy with, you know, this pedigree, this career behind him to go out. As always, another one taken too soon, but guys, I know some of our listeners may be a little fuzzy on Tom Zink, because he is from the old guard, you know what I mean? Do any of you guys have any fond memories of Tom Zink, the Z-Man, the Can-Am Connection, any of that shit growing up?
Yeah, WrestleMania 3, you know, he tagged with Tito, but I remember him more so of just doing great interviews from back in the day, very insightful, you know, he'd be on, like, live audio wrestling and stuff. He was a great interview. That's what I remember most, really, than his wrestling career.
Yeah, his interviews were some of the best. The WrestleMania where he tagged up. But yeah, I mean, rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
I wish those interviews that he could have got a chance to do like on air as a character, because like the promos he ever cut as a character, in my opinion, were just kind of bland, and that's always kind of been his biggest problem. I know he was probably most notable in WCW in his tag team with Brian Pillman. I think they won the belts, or the U.S. tag belts, and just the fact that we had U.S. tag belts is always weird looking back. There were so many tag belts in WCW over the years. But yeah, I mean, thank God, I guess Pillman found Steve Austin and became the Hollywood Blondes, went on to bigger things. I think, like, he, and no disrespect, he passed away, but he would have floundered if he just stuck with Zink, who quite frankly was from the 80s era, and by the mid-90s, he was kind of passé in a way, and just speaks to the times. No fault of his own. I mean, that just gets you. Your whole act is, you know, catered to a certain era. It's hard to make that transition, and few guys can, Logan.
Well, I did listen to
that is true.
Cornette's thoughts on him, saying, you know, he had the look and everything, but he just didn't connect with people. From what Jim Cornette was saying about Tom Zenk, this is the Z-Man.
Basically fell flat in some areas, and then the other areas he excelled, basically.
Yeah. And say what you want about the Can-Am connection. I mean, all they did when Zenk left the company was just replace him with Tito Santana, and Strike Force was the Can-Am connection still. They just changed the name. It's the same fucking thing, except Girls in Cars, the music video. But that's a whole other podcast. Maybe a Hibiki Honors, so stick around for that. But, we're not playing around. Vince McMahon, though, guys, other in the news, seems to want to be playing around with some footballs again. Logan, holy shit, what did I read in the news this week?
Yeah. Well, first off, I want to shout out to Hammers Production in the chat. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the chat. And yes, the big news coming out is Vince McMahon himself. Back in, what was it, 2001, or the late 2000s,
2001?
Started this XFL.
Yeah, it was 2001.
2001, he started XFL, Extreme Football League, which fell flat after the very first season, because, he thought he could compete with the NFL back then. But back then, the NFL was just so successful with everything that they were accomplishing, and everything was just perfect for the NFL then.
Well,
but now
I don't know if things are perfect
NFL,
for the NFL in 2099. I think the concept was.
I'm saying compared from then to now, with everything going on, I would say this is the perfect chance for Vince McMahon to bring back something like the XFL.
I honestly, and this is curmudgeon-y, this is old man, this is cranky negative energy, but I think it's always going to be a mistake to go up against the NFL. Vince McMahon is doing exactly what he preaches to us about wrestling and the propaganda we hear in documentaries and stuff is any company basically that goes up against the big dog, WWF, is bound to fail. WWE, excuse me, holy shit. Any league that goes up against the NFL is not going to succeed to that established kind of brand. That brand, Michael from Slam Pigs podcast, has the Dallas Cowboys emblem tattooed on his left forearm. That's dedication to a brand. You're not just going to waltz in and be like, we're going to make these go away, pal. We're the new kid in town. No.
I don't think he's trying to do that, though, Travis. I think he's just trying to compete. I don't think he's trying to get the NFL to go away.
What's the end game to competition? What's the end game, though, to competition?
I think he just thinks that, maybe he can get some money off of it the way the NFL is making money off of it. He thinks he can make the money off of it the way he's making money off of having the WWE compete with Ring of Honor, New Japan, and places like that. And there is more news to this. It is announced right now that it will not be the XFL returning. The announcement will be January 25th, 2018, where Vince McMahon will be signing to bring, it's called the United Football League. And it's going to be close to something similar to the NFL and kind of like the WWE type, head injuries and stuff like that as well.
So the XFL, like we said, they just changed the letter.
Yeah, why you use the XFL if that name didn't work? I guess change it so people won't, put them two together.
Yes, it's not extreme. It's more
now that
less
you say
violent,
that,
kind of like the NFL.
I can see them like doing an European teams with U.S. teams now with this whole United gimmick behind it, like a worldwide. You'll get a worldly experience here. You know what I mean? I can see that kind of being the gimmick. Maybe this time, though, they go around, even though it won't work, they'll go a more traditional route as opposed to, like, slutty cheerleaders and Rodney Dangerfield smoking weed and unneeded feuds with Jesse Ventura and some coach. What the fuck was that? Yeah, I will say this. I will say one positive thing, Bronson, about the XFL. Mm-hmm. The rating, the eyes were there in the first 2 weeks. People were interested. It's just how it was presented. They presented it like wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now you bring it. Was Jim Ross was a commentator for all of it or some of it? I don't know. I remember he was
some of it. Yeah, he was there for some. Yeah.
This is a terrible, terrible idea. I mean, WWE. I mean, this is This is really, really stupid. I mean, Vince McMahon, outside of wrestling, he doesn't have the Midas touch. I mean, even right now in wrestling, he doesn't. This is just a fucking terrible idea all around. I hope it doesn't happen, but we'll see. This is fucking stupid, man.
Megan, thoughts on football coming back to Vinnie Mac?
I think he needs to stick with what he was born into. Does that make sense? Because I don't even think he knows he's out of touch with what's happening with wrestling.
I guess.
Yeah.
And he's out of touch with what's happening and what needs to go on. And I think he is grasping at all these different things, and it's just becoming too much. And then it didn't work the first time. What makes you think it's going to work now? Because it's a new age. Is that what I'm thinking? This is a new generation maybe he can grab onto. But I can tell you the younger generation might not be into football as much as people, mine and Travis's age. I don't know about. I know Logan's younger. But, I mean, like, we all watched football. We all still sit down and watch football. So if it didn't work in the early 2000s, why is it going to work now with kids that are more like, we watch wrestling because of the acting part of it, the fact that it's a soap opera. It's not a sport, so I think that he's going into a generation that doesn't really necessarily is into football. Because I don't know many kids or even, Logan, he's into football, but most kids I know that are into wrestling aren't into much of other sports.
Logan, you better put her in place and tell her you're a man, first of all, and take her kids out
I am a
the door.
fucking man.
Excuse me? Excuse me.
I was going to say, this is also a gaming channel, right? And Logan, you're not a huge gamer, but I do know the game you play religiously is Madden 18, usually any Madden game. Could you see yourself sitting down getting hardcore as you do in a Madden for some UFL on PS4, Logan? Do you think it would come to that?
Right.
Well, there is. Well, the rumor going around is, as of what I'm reading right here, is Vince McMahon is going to be basically running this Alpha Entertainment, which is going to be separate from WWE.
Sounds like a porn
which
company.
He's going to be branched.
Just saying.
Yes, it does.
Just saying.
Yes, it does.
He's going to be branching off WWE a little bit and handing it off to Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and Shane McMahon for the future going forward. Vince McMahon supposedly is invested in doing some separate stuff, and he's really into this. He's really actually thinking he can make some money off of this, and he's putting his foot forward and giving Triple H more freedom to do what he wants with the WWE. So,
which I think is actually smart. I'm just going to throw that out there because Triple H is at least in touch with, the universe.
They should just sell WWE that portion of the company to Road Dogg. See what happens.
Oof.
No, I agree with Megan. I think, to branch out, you can't take Paul Heyman's biggest downfall in ECW is he took on too much as one person, right? To burn him out.
Yep.
Spread out the power. And if it's in-house,
well,
if
he
it's
also
family,
ran out of money.
Why not?
He also ran out of money, though.
The crazy part here, as of what I'm reading here, Alpha Entertainment is not just football. It's multiple platforms that it will explore investment opportunities across multiple platforms, including professional football. And he's in talk with even Mark Madden from the NFL on certain things, including on the football.
Not Mark Madden, the shitty WCW announcer.
You mean John Madden?
John Madden, well, it's Mark Madden, on...
It's going to be kind of hard to get in touch with John Madden.
Wait, so Mark Madden, the WCW guy you're talking about, right? Because that's who I automatically was thinking of when you said Mark Madden.
It says Mark Madden, it said Mark Madden on here, but I know it's John Madden.
Oh, okay. It would be kind of weird seeing Mark Madden on there, but
see, they have it wrong on this website.
Well, apparently, I know if if anything,
comment.
WWE, it seems like they're taking more and more, like, I don't want to say boneheaded risks, but laxed type like risks. Like Kane is in the main event picture of a major title right now, and is that due to, like, say what you want about their creative, their television, their Oshida, their, all their financial things that just came out were like the most successful they've probably ever been finance. They made a shit ton of money this last quarter. Apparently, it's come out in the past week or so, guys. I don't know if any of you saw that.
No, but I
No.
listen to Mel. I mean, they're from what he says, they make most of their money. It's really TV deal because they're not selling out shit. Really, it's TV deal. They got
All that
that's
stuff.
really.
They're in bed with
Well, and-
so many people now.
Well, and this week they had a deal with USA, right? Because didn't a whole bunch of stuff play this week?
NXT, Tribute to the Truth.
NXT, yeah, that was all on USA, so they probably made a good chunk of change on that.
Prime Time also. So, yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah. We'll see. This is going to be really interesting to see play out, and it's going to be a blast to cover this story because Vince McMahon is a madman at the end of the day. And like we always say, there needs to be a reality show filming him, and I would watch the shit out of it. Other than that, the other biggest news coming out that I've seen since we recorded anything, Logan, is NXT, or excuse me, Jesus Christ, 205 Live house shows haven't even had one show yet, and they're already co-branding like we predicted they would probably have to do to get asses in the seats. And of all things, this is kind of intriguing, actually. And you said off air, because I asked you, would you go to this? You said, yeah, it's Woken, Matt Hardy, and Bray Wyatt on 205 Live house shows, Logan.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Apparently,
Okay.
they are going to bring Broken or Awoken, whatever you want to call him now.
Woken.
Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt to the 205 Live tour to, I guess, help with bringing some people in to pack the house. And I don't see this as a bad thing. I see this as a good thing. And this is me smiling like DDP back in 2000.
Oh God, that gimmick.
If you're going to go to this extent, I mean, I know the NXT roster isn't huge, but is it big enough to, like, do... Why not just make it an NXT tour again? Like, you could co-brand and, like, split your, like... Back in the day, WWF house shows would do, like, they'd have an A squad headlined by Hogan and a B squad headlined by Savage, but they would do separate shows, right, at the same time. As opposed to taking a giant risk with 205 Live, because it costs money to make... You got to spend money to make money if these shows don't run themselves. I don't think Wyatt and Matt Hardy's going to be enough, though. It's so brand new. Like, the casual fan really hasn't, who's never seen fucking TNA, is just kind of like, why is this going on? Like, they're confused, I feel like. Because they just keep recycling the same vignette. It seems like.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ron?
I guess they see money. They see money involved with this whole Matt Hardy Awoken character, and I think that's part of the reason why they think bringing him into the 205 Live tour is going to help everything involved in the aspect of doing this tour and bringing them in and all that. I guess we'll have to see to find
Bronson,
out.
do you think this could be like his test from management to see if he could be a main event draw in a way? Matt Hardy?
Oh. Maybe. Yeah, but it could be.
I mean, just listen to the crowd reaction, right, Bronson?
I was gonna say though, on Raw, first week it got over. If you notice, second week they did the same bit. I don't know, the crowd wasn't as hot. They didn't really give a shit as much. If they do the same shit again, they got to do something else for Raw. They can't do that same bit. You noticed?
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Megan?
I mean, I see your point, Travis, where it's like, so I've never really been a big TNA watcher. I knew about it because of, the internet. The internet tells you follow anything wrestling, it's going to tell you all kinds of stuff. So I kind of knew about it. And then now it's like coming out and I'm like, well, this isn't the Matt Hardy that I know. And so I can see a lot of people thinking the same way. Is it interesting? I think so. But at the same time, if you're wanting old timers or even the kids to come, because the kids grew up with their parents watching it, and they still wear the armbands. I see kids, when the Hardys came back, They were wearing armbands. They were still doing what they. So I don't know if anybody's like. I kind of feel everybody's kind of like, okay, this is cool. This is happening because we all heard about it happening. And now that it's here, it's like, okay, so where is this going? And I was actually talking about it tonight with one of my friends, how I don't know what happened to Bray Wyatt once he got the title. Anybody who works with him, it's almost like it gets over the first time. And then the more it goes on, the more we're like, okay, are we done? I'm almost thinking it's a Wyatt problem.
Well, I've said he's kryptonite. You know?
And well, I mean, it's kind of that thing because it's like, oh, cool, this is happening. And then you're kind of like, this is all we're getting?
I feel like
nothing new is happening.
And you're right. And I feel like every great feud, the good ones, the great ones, have to have an incentive. And I feel like the feuds with Wyatt, they never really have a purpose. It's like, all right, I got one over on a mid-card guy who loses all the time anyway. What's the point of this? You know, because they've never really put him in that caliber. You're right. And I also kind of think we're in that era too, where it's not like it used to be. You'd kind of have to be living under a rock to not have seen a broken. Like, if you really want to find out, and you're that curious, all you got to do is either ask or just put in like broken. Not even spell out all of broken Matt Hardy. It'll auto spell it for you on YouTube, and you'll see it through clips. It's so accessible now. I don't even think. I think people just have a certain way but do people really know how they want Broken Matt to be booked, Logan? Or are we kind of just like, this is all fantasy booking to us? Because who would have thought a year ago we'd be even talking about this? Or this was all fantasy, like WWE 2K17 shit a year ago.
Yeah.
Wait. Exactly. Getting back to Bray Wyatt, though, don't you think his biggest problem just in his whole career is that he can cut a good promo and everything, but once he got in that ring, people just don't care because he's never been that good of a wrestler? Don't you think that's been a big problem with Wyatt?
I think he's a fine wrestler. They just don't know what they're doing with him. They don't know how to use him.
You think
really? I think he's good.
For a bigger guy, I think he's very agile. I think a lot of that spider web shit he does in the corner, they kind of like, you need to do that more. Like, I don't think on the indies, I don't think he would do that nearly as much as they probably make him. But I think he's fine. I don't think he's like totally captivating, but I think he can hold his own in the ring.
And if he gets with the right person, because I want to think of I can't even think off the top of my head of a good match with Wyatt.
Daniel Bryan I've seen him. Rumble, like 2014.
Oh, there you go.
Match, I remember.
All right, but you got that's to Daniel Bryan though. But yeah, okay.
But again, it's all about who you work with.
Yeah, you got to book him with a guy that blends with him. You don't book him with a fucking Baron Corbin. I feel like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh God. Oh shit.
You know, so it's all about booking and you know. Who has it in the ring together?
Yeah.
And I mean, but here you go. Who has it in the ring? Who right now could be in the ring and make it work with Wyatt? Who?
Yeah, that is
not many people.
Yeah, that's the $1 million question right there.
They need to do vignettes. They need to hit the reset button on Wyatt first, kind of like they did with the Bludgeon Brothers, even though I feel like the Bludgeon Brothers are starting to not work. And we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of which, don't you think he should cut? I mean, he's supposed to be this freaky guy, but Wyatt to me looks like a dirty hippie. Maybe he should shave his head or something.
They need to go, maybe. They need to go babyface. I feel it's time. It's Mick Foley him. Do something. Cactus Jack him. Make him I don't know, do something.
Yeah, I think
they could make him into a crazy, dirty hippie dude.
There you go.
And have him come out kind of all weird and
put him with the Drifter. There you go. The Drifter's like his Stevie Richards, and he's like Raven, and he starts a new flock as a babyface. You heard it here first. If that happens, all credits. Slam Pigs podcast. Guys, let's kick it into overdrive, not the shitty MVP finishing maneuver, and let's talk about Clash of Champions, SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. I'll come clean, I did not see the pre-show. What else is new, right, Logan? What? I know you were just enthusiastic and so positive as a peach about the caliber of matchup presented on the pre-show tonight.
Travis, you know it's been a while since I've been fired up.
Okay, stand back, guys.
He's taking off the glasses.
Put your pants back on.
The glasses are off. And it's time for me to bring back the fired up segment. And Michael, you're going to be happy. Because I know you always love this segment. You always say, Jesus Christ, turn it off. Why stay hyped? Mojo Rawley won this match against Zack Ryder, of course. But my question is, why stay hyped when you can't get hyped to begin with? First off, why would you care about Mojo Rawley turning on Zack Ryder with that attire that he wore in the match tonight? And if you guys watched the pre-show, you would understand my point of view on that.
What did he
I
wear?
don't
Logan,
understand
a
this whole.
dress? Christ.
He wore the same thing, yellow, colorful, not black, not anything,
God, you hate the color
nothing.
yellow.
It was just. It wasn't. It's not the color yellow. It's just the fact that, you know, if you want to be as a heel, you need to stand out as, you know, as a more of a darker color, like a Baron Corbin. And for the theme song, Colin enjoyed the theme song I saw on Twitter. Colin, are you retarded?
Whoa.
What?
Are you dumb?
Are you waiting for him to
Okay.
respond because he's not here?
Can you handle that
When I
deep
think-
salt that was rubbed into your wounds, Colin, being called dumb live on air?
Ooh.
When I think of a heel theme song, I think of a Baron Corbin. When I think of a badass hardcore theme song that makes him stand out as a heel, to me it was just a complete and utter joke. Zack Ryder is better off alone and not in a tag team. He's never been over in 10 years besides the woo woo woo, but whatever. But you're really going to push Mojo Riley.
Mojo fucking
Riley.
Rawley. Will you just say it? Please.
Whatever. As the biggest badass out of all these two, and I will never ever be a fan. And I
You
don't
know
care.
that push is not going to last. He's going to be a jobber within a month or
Just
so.
make him Nikita Koloff
Nope.
Jr. like we booked him
He's
as.
a
It would
jobber
work.
now. He's
Yeah.
a jobber now.
He's a Russian.
He
can-
sucks. Either way, he sucks. There's nothing redeeming about
Yeah.
Mojo Rawley. He's fucking terrible. He was terrible in NXT. He's terrible now. Fuck him.
Send him back
There's
to arena
nothing.
football.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let him go be a cheerleader for the Patriots for Gronkowski. There we go.
The fact that he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal this year just says that they should just kill it now. They shouldn't bring it back because he already defiled it. It means shit now.
I would have rather played fucking Crossfire with the Great Khali than watch that match again. It was so bad. Holy shit.
Wow. That's saying something right there.
It is.
I'd rather do
testament.
CrossFit.
CrossFit Jesus, Logan Myers over here. Other than that, let's cheer up a little bit. Christ, from Mojo Riley. Clash of Champions kicked off. United States. So I thought it might kick off the tag belts, guys. I came in the very tail end of this match. I was getting the troops together and trying to rush here. Putting bunk beds together sucks. I don't recommend it, but got it done. Other than that, Bobby Roode, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, U.S. title. Guys, what'd you think? And everyone pretty much seeming. Did any of us call Ziggler on any shows prior to this? Because I called Corbin. I was flat out wrong.
No, I thought he was going to take the fall. I was shocked that he won.
Yeah.
I honestly took Bobby Roode.
I can't remember who I took. I either took Roode or Corbin. I can't
But I
remember
took
which one.
Bobby Roode pinning Baron Corbin and not Dolph.
Anybody catch that little commercial with Dolph Ziggler in it tonight, by the way?
Which one? The fucking one with the PC, the cell phone company they show every
he's
time?
taking selfies. I was like, oh, he's getting titles and commercials. I guess he re-signed. Makes sense. What did you guys think, though? I mean, the booking, how it played out in the actual match?
I thought it was a good match, honestly. To me, it was a match that, was back and forth. There was plenty of chances where it gave everybody an opportunity to win the match. And that, I guess that could be said for almost all the matches tonight. I'm not going to say it, that's all I'm going to say for that.
Well, not Brizongo, other than that.
Yeah, other than that. But what did you think, Megan? Well,
Okay, so I
you
just watched it. Okay. And all I got for this one is the ending and how he won. That was kind of badass. That made my mouth drop. I mean, the zigzag when Corbin was about ready to do what is his finisher? I don't know. That's how much I pay attention to him.
End of days.
But end of days, he was in there, and then he did the zigzag and won, and my mouth dropped because I was like, but I was expecting Corbin to kick out, and he didn't. And then I was like, oh, he won. And then how he walked off like a jackass. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, again, it was back and forth. It was good. You know, they ganged up on the big guy at first and tried to knock him out. And one point you thought Rude had it, but Corbin pulled him out and then, you know, did his move on the outside. It was a solid match. I mean, again, the ending, I don't know of a single person I could have been like, oh yeah, Ziggler's going to win this, because so far he's been the well-off jobber kind of, you know, everybody knows his name, but he's taken the falls.
I know
so
one
for
person,
him to win,
one person that I didn't mean to predicted Ziggler, and he'd be just gloating around. Michael actually predicted Dolph Ziggler last week.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Well, go Michael.
Woohoo.
But yeah. Woohoo, Michael won. He's going to hold that over everybody's head now for about 6 months.
Look what you did, Logan. Bronson, what'd you think of this match, man?
By the numbers match. If I mean, I didn't think it was anything special other than the finish. I was like, wow, that took me by surprise. I figured he was easily going to retain the title, but you know that made it better than it was. But overall, I didn't give a shit about the match other than the finish. It was like another average match.
They also showed Corbin backstage post match, like, and the interviewer, Dasha, whatever the fuck her name is, she was kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
She was like, well, you lost your money in the bank and your title. How the fuck do you feel, asshole? Basically is what she said. And he was like, how do you expect me to answer? But yeah, where do we go from here, Logan, now with Ziggler, the U.S. belt? Do we go back to Bobby Roode?
Yeah.
I say a triple threat again. I say another triple threat.
Unless he just wins it on fucking Smackdown. Which
I can't see them.
Doing WWE booking,
you know,
they tend to do that a lot, you know.
Yeah.
I can't see them, you know, like taking it off Ziggler right away. Maybe they do,
Maybe.
but I also can't see them taking Baron Corbin away from the title picture, and I can't see Bobby Roode going away from the title picture just like that either.
I found it weird that Bobby Roode tweeted out like yesterday, the day before, that he gets a shot finally to win his first title in WWE. I'm like, no, you're not. You're the NXT champion. Like, what is this thing about like negating NXT title wins? It's the same company.
I guess, you know, minor leagues. I guess I don't know. You know,
it's your own league.
I'm wondering
That's why I'm
the
like,
same
what?
thing.
Yeah, just funny. Other than that, this led to, guys, my favorite part of the night, as come customary here on SmackDown review shows, the tag team title matches. They're always good.
Yeah.
No matter who's in it, it feels like. Christ, we had Aiden English in the match, and it was good. And it was just that Rusev Day, Aiden English, Rusev, the New Day, Benjables, and the Usos locked down 4-way. This was really fucking weird. The match. At first, I didn't like it. Just how these rules were set up. You know what I'm talking about, Logan?
Yep.
Go ahead.
What threw me off was the fact that Rusev had a couple times he had him in the submission move, and Xavier Woods was outside with the trombone. I'm like, okay, you can go inside now and, you know, interfere. It's a fatal 4-way. It's no DQ.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I became a big fan of Chad Gable. Once again, the German suplexes, especially on Aiden English, looked sick. It was amazing.
Yeah, and unfortunately, though, that team is not working. They're not getting over that. I like that they're noticing that. They're kind of healing them already. Kind of like when World's Greatest Tag Team were heels, I guess, in a way, is what they could be. I've always thought Chad Gable was great. I just feel like I feel like those guys work in a shittier team or something. Maybe the Colognes, like they would have been big baby faces, but the amount of talent in this match, and let's get right to it. Right before it, the promo that Aiden English cut was phenomenal. Just the 12 days of Rusev, which you knew it was coming eventually. You're just the proper time around Christmas time. There's 12 days of Rusev, but he nailed it. You know, it was a good flow. The typical stuff. The Usos thing. I don't know if they had to yell that 12 times, because by the end the crowd was kind of lost on it, and I was like, shut the fuck up, you know, the lockdown thing. But great match. Megan, lovely lady, what did you think of this match?
Okay, so I have to say, out of the whole thing, the one who stood out the most to me, the one person out of all that craziness, was Gable. He picked up some pretty big guys and just kind of threw them around. He's a pretty small dude. What is he, like 5'8"?
And you're
Something
in
like
fact
that.
watching it live as we're talking about reviewing it. A lot of people don't know.
Oh, yes, I am. So I'm actually just now in the women's match. So I'm kind of watching. So if I kind of get sidetracked, I apologize. So I'm kind of like one above. But yeah, I mean, out of all that, I mean, it was a good match. I was thrown off a few times where I'm like, what is going on? There's 4 guys. I was kind of like puzzled by it. And then you kind of get used to seeing it because you get the vibe of it. So one of each team. But again, man, I mean, it was a solid match. Everybody did their own thing. Oh, Kobe Kingston with the out of the nowhere stomp. Did anybody else catch that? Like they ran in, he like feet on the chest and stomped. Like I was like, okay, that was cool. I don't know how I feel about the Usos winning. I mean, like I told Bronson, he was like, oh yeah, they kept titles, and I was like, meh. I mean, maybe we need a little bit of a shaking up here going on with the tag team, because the tag team in SmackDown is solid. Like that's the one thing that they're really solid on right now. SmackDown, that brand, their tag team game is strong. So I think maybe we need to see some shaking up. So maybe that's where I was like, I don't know how I feel about them winning, but I mean, all in all, I have to say Gable stole that match, and we need to look at him. This kid can do some stuff. Maybe he doesn't need to be in a tag team. Everybody thought, him on his own wasn't good enough. But he just, again, it's down to booking. Who he can get in there with, who he can do stuff with, and him throwing around those big guys. Like, he threw around E, and he threw away, Rusev. Like, it was good. So I think maybe this might have gotten him a little bit more of a push to be noticed by the creative team, I hope. Because he could get used, and he could be used well. Small guy taking on big guys. Get him against Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
His matches with Rusev were badass. I loved them. And speaking of Rusev, talk about rubbing it in creative's faces. They've tried to bury this guy. And this guy, he's kind of like a Zack Ryder. He got himself over on social media with his funny-ass tweets. This whole Rusev day was, they were like, do whatever. Nobody cares. And he did. And man, it's working. I hope they keep up the momentum because they're a great team. Who would have thought we'd be saying these two? Because they were a thrown together team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 2 job guys. And it's a shame Rusev became that because when he was a monster heel, he was tremendous. Other than that, the decision to keep it on the Usos for now, it's fine. I mean, it's hard not to like any of these teams, like I said.
Right.
I mean, like Megan said, like the SmackDown tag team division right now, to me, it's on a different level than Raw. And it's only going to get better when you include more of the NXT tag teams in the future.
Yeah.
And we
the
all
revival get healthy, and I think the Bar and the Shield are having kick-ass fucking matches. The problem with that division is they're like the only teams. That's it. So when you get the revival back, when you get the NXT, a Heavy Machinery, I think is going to surprise people. I think they're going to have some. They're capable for bigger guys. I know people shit on the gimmick, and it's kind of shitty, but they're going to.
They remind me of like the new Natural Disasters for some reason.
Yes, I'm with him on that one. Okay,
from the Nation, something like Danger.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that take us? The ladies, right next, Logan.
Yep, we're at the ladies, the Charlotte versus Natalya in the Lumberjack match, which I'm glad they're not calling it Lumberjill.
I thought for sure, because they barely mentioned it leading up to this, that Carmella was possibly going to cash in tonight. A, to maybe make this kind of a more memorable pay-per-view, because it seems like basically a glorified SmackDown after watching it. And B, just, it's a Lumberjack match. It would make more sense. But
she was until,
I thought I was going to be right. But see, I feel like when they were doing the introductions for every single Lumberjack individually, that was overkill, by the way. The announcers immediately started going, well, she could cash in tonight. Then I was like, she probably won't then. And I hate when they do that. You know what I mean? Wrestling announcers are notorious. If they talk about it, it's not fucking happening, guys.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's been WWE champion for like 200 days and then he loses the belt or something,
Right. So that, But I don't know. Maybe this she'll be the first woman to cash in Mania at this point. She's had it for a while now. For Money in the Bank lengthwise, at least she's had it for a while. It's going to be interesting. Maybe she could try to do it in the Rumble. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I have no clue.
It's been
But
long
the
enough.
match, Charlotte and Natalia. God, I hate the cat gimmick. Even though her outfit was kind of cool, like Catwoman, I just don't get it. Like, what are you, a cat? And did she retire tonight? But Logan, what did you think of all this?
The match fell flat. It was just a generic, traditional lumberjack match that we normally get. There's like nothing that we, haven't seen before. Moonsault on top of every lumberjack. The lumberjacks fight. What are we going to remember out of this?
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte did get a good reaction. The crowd kind of kept pace more than I thought they would during this. They seemed into it. Braun, did this woman's match work for you? Or you weren't feeling it?
Oh, no. As a matter of fact, I went to go take a leak, and then it ended. I'm like, oh, what the hell happened? And then I was like, oh, she's cut. Then Natty's cutting a promo. Like, oh, I guess she lost. I don't get what the hell that promo was about. Is she retiring? What's going on? Do you know?
No clue. And that's, by the way, that's why we brought you on board, the most honest man in podcasting. He will go piss on your segment, guys. That's his gimmick. Don't doubt him. I don't know. If not, I mean, I guess she did a good job of selling the tears, but I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she's very talented, but they never, they've always kind of booked her shitty.
She's always kind of been an afterthought. And I'm not saying she's not talented, but there's just women who've been better on the roster for the most part for years. And that just happens, I guess, with competition in a way.
Well, let's not forget that amazing farting gimmick. Remember that?
Oh, Christ. Kissing the great Khali or whatever she did.
Oh, yes. Oof.
2 Khali references, Megan. Can you handle it tonight?
Oh, no, I can't handle it.
I just watched a clip of Great Khali singing Happy Birthday to John Cena the other day for some reason, too. It was awful.
When did he do that?
It was like after Raw where all the guys came out and sung to
Yuck.
What's become of my life? I'm playing 32X and I'm watching that shit. What's happened, Megan?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just watched it, and I'm not going to remember much of it other than the fact that they had theme music for every single... I mean, I fast-forwarded. I'm like, why are they playing music for people that aren't even in the match? Like, when did that start happening? Like, I thought they all, like, the lumberjacks came down and went around the ring, like, just generic music, and then... the people in the match, then they get their music. And that just seemed way too long. I think the entrances last longer than the match did. I mean, I don't know. And then Natty's, I just finished Natty's little thingy, and I don't think she's retiring. I think what's happening is, okay, so I watch Total Divas because I have a vagina. And,
me too.
So
I got it.
I know. So, I mean, if you watch that, like, they're trying to get her to be better on the mic. Even all of the whole female roster is like, you can't be on the mic. You suck. That's all fire they have against her because she is good she's been wrestling her whole entire life. She's good. She's amazing. Again, it's who she wrestles against. I don't know why they keep using the name thing. Like she brought up, oh, she won because of her name. How the fuck did she win because of her name? That makes no sense.
Well, it's not supposed to make sense. She's a heel. I think that's why they give it. Because it's also like a double standard because she always uses her hard name and her persona makes her like a shittier lying heel. I get that.
I think the tears and all that is really them trying to give her an opportunity to become an all-around better person. Because I think they do want to keep her around because, yeah, it's mic time. Prove yourself. Here you go. Here's some time. Do something with it. I mean, her taking the mic and, like, pointing at everybody and you saw you people turn out. That was actually pretty good. But the tears at the end, like... You could have just walked out and just continued crying. Why did you stop there so everybody would look at you? It seems like she needs to find a good balance. And if she doesn't find it quicker, then it's going to be like you guys, where it's kind of like, what the fuck, Natty?
I feel like
nobody cares.
I feel like this Natty did it better than like a 2009 Natalia would have did it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's definitely getting better, but...
But she's a vet. She's a veteran. I don't know. And where was Becky Lynch? Is she injured?
So she just got done filming Marine 6. Is that the one that they're filming now?
Probably.
So I was talking about it tonight because somebody I know actually showed me a picture of him and Becky Lynch. You know, this whole thing. It was a whole bunch of friends. Did you see my picture? And so we were talking about it, and they just stopped filming. So I think that she's going to randomly show up probably on SmackDown this week and just be like, I'm back. And I think they're trying to say she's injured, but I haven't really heard anything. I mean, supposedly the Miz is injured too. Is that what I've heard?
I thought he was filming.
I don't know.
Also,
he's filming too. Yeah, but I thought I thought I read something somewhere that he's not going to be on for a while. But that would make sense as he's having a baby.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You know, so who knows what they're doing?
Logan Hogan, where does that lead us with the ladies division, brother?
It's up in the air for me. I mean, if Natalia's done with the women's title picture, where does that leave us? I mean, is it the Riot Squad, whatever you want to call them? Who's next? Who's next? To challenge Charlotte. I mean, is there any challengers in that division right now that you can say they're ready?
Becky.
But
I'll just flat out say it.
I know
she's fresh.
Enthralled with the women's division and where it's going to go on SmackDown.
I mean, right now the Raw to me, Raw has more of a bigger picture than SmackDown now.
It's always had, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always had. Yeah.
It's always had. Yeah.
But in a weird way, at least not lately in 2017, but I feel like during like the spring and summer, maybe the late summer, Raw always had the deeper women's division, but SmackDown was using their women better. And that's not saying a lot, because both divisions are kind of,
I don't know. I mean, Becky Lynch is a good choice, but with her filming and all, you don't know how long she's going to be out. I mean, she could be back in time for the Rumble.
Well, I mean, lest we forget, though, and this Wednesday live as our Slam Pigs year-end awards, we had This Is Your Life Bailey on Raw this year, so don't forget that going on. I mean, it could be worse.
and I'm going to be on Wednesday, correct?
I was not told this, but I guess I'll have to look in my books.
I thought Michael said something about me being on Slam Pigs on the...
We'd love to have you, Logan.
I thought I heard something when you guys had cut out on the last show when it got cut off that I was going to be on it or something. I may have heard wrong. I don't know.
You playing mind games?
He's just trying to get it. He's just trying to get on more shows because
also.
I will go back and play it and record it and send it to you, Travis.
I'm pretty sure Travis has that on file. Just
I have you all on file.
Travis, I'm pretty sure you're the one that said, I'm pretty sure Logan will be on it, or something like that. I couldn't remember, though.
Well, I'm pretty sure you made Bronson fall asleep with your jibber jabber, Logan.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, I was sleeping. I nodded off, fella. What happened?
I'm sorry,
look what you did.
I'm sorry, Bronson. I didn't mean to be Kristen.
Oh, that happened.
Cheap shot.
Yeah.
Where did that take us? Did that take us to Bludgeon Brothers in Brazongo?
Yeah.
Sure did.
I gotta say, yeah, like you were saying, I think people don't care about them anymore, or maybe they didn't that much. But man, no reaction when they came out, the Bludgeon Brothers.
No reaction even after.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing.
Yeah, WWE booking shit on them too many times for people to give a shit. Changing their name and I really hate. Do you guys like their outfit? I'm not really a big fan.
No, it reminds me of old school Kane, but like more trashy.
It just looks like bad Skyrim characters to me.
Yes.
I mean,
it looks like the Dark Brotherhood when you got the Dark Brotherhood out because that's black and red.
Exactly. Or like oh, go ahead, Logan.
Does anybody watch The Walking Dead?
No, fuck that show.
No.
I did until last season, and then it got so terrible that show's fucking garbage. But go ahead if you want to spoil something. I don't care. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, Negan has, you know how he has that thing where he has the fire in that little thing, and he
Yep.
puts the iron in, and he puts it against people's faces. It's like you took Kane's outfit, you threw it in there, you brought it out, and it came out mixed with the Highlander's outfit.
Oh my God, the Highlanders! Holy shit!
Oh wow.
Rory and Robbie, the Highlanders.
There you go.
Although the Rowan does remind me of Robbie, you know, because he's bald and a beard. That's it.
And
But
they both
son.
slap each other just like they did back in the day too.
See, I
Yeah.
don't remember anything of the Highlanders. I don't even remember that.
Why? Here's the $1 million question, and actually, it should be a fucking $2 question because it's not hard
I
booking.
know.
Why can't they just be
I know
fucking Luke Harper and Eric Rowan?
Oh.
What's wrong with that?
Okay, I know.
Because they think
Good
people
question.
are.
I had another $2 question though too, but I'll let you answer that.
It was a rhetorical question because I mean they were fine as Harper and Rowan. I feel like
They were fine that way. Like, I don't
They
understand the
definitely-
change. Like, I think that's where a lot of people are because we know them
well
as,
figures.
you know,
I
what
don't
they were. And then, I mean, what they were doing was good. They were somewhat over.
I feel like this
I
was
think-
an Uncle Paul creation and in his head because he's such a mark for like metal bands. Like he wanted to come up with like the most metal tag team, and he's like, those guys are fucking metal. And this is what he came up with, but it just didn't pan out.
Oh my gosh. I can see it.
I will say one thing: as red hot as Breezango was. Why would you do this? Why would you do them of all the teams?
That
to
was
fucking
my $1
squash?
million question, Travis.
Right?
Why bury a talent in a tag team that is one of your most over tag teams in the division?
You can love
Are
or
they-
hate the fashion.
Are they
wild.
that?
You
Are
know
they
what I mean?
that?
But it got them really over, and a lot of people, loved or hated the Edge and Christian comedy skits, but that got them really
Right.
over, and I feel like they had tremendous momentum.
Wait, I gotta say, were they that? I mean, because if you heard them tonight, you wouldn't think they were over though. They were kind of like
Because
not
I
much
feel
of a-
like everybody knew in the crowd they were being led to slaughter, like we all did, because of the match,
Yeah.
and like, oh man, here we go, time to be. And I don't think anyone was like hyped for them coming out tonight because we knew the end game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew what was going to happen. I mean, it's because they're trying to push the brothers over, and why not? I think what the booking wise was they were okay. Fashion Files, these guys, they're going to get hyped. People are going to be into this match, but everybody knew that they're falling. They're taking the fall. We all knew it. Nobody was going to say that they were going to win, and I think because of that, I think people went into the match almost being a little disappointed.
It's kind of like when you got to go put an animal down at the vet. You say
Right?
your
You're
last
kind of like,
goodbyes,
oh,
you have your little memories, and then right,
right?
Logan? Merry Christmas, everyone.
Wow, it really got dark there for a second. Putting down
It
animals
is the
and
Bludgeon
shit.
Brothers. They put down animals. That's their gimmick.
Yeah.
With their big Thor hammers.
Oh, actually, speaking of a tag team that's going to probably debut soon, I mean, you were saying who can they feud with? I mean, AOP's probably going to debut soon at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've never been a fan. Do you guys like them?
No, I am a big fan of AOP. I was saying, yeah, man. Like I
Me
can't
too.
wait for them to come up on the main roster. I want to see them in a stable
yeah.
with Samoa Joe.
That could be good.
Here's a question: do you see Paul Ellering sticking around on the main roster?
Yes,
I do.
I do. I think it works.
I don't think they should let him talk, but I think the visual, like Paul Ellering, the visual to have there, you know what I mean, with like the years behind him is good. Just don't give him a mic. Very little, maybe in the vignettes where they can edit it.
I think he's only there because he's in Florida. He doesn't have to travel much, though. That's what I'm thinking. He's there. I mean,
he makes the takeover shots. Maybe he would only make. I don't know. Maybe he would only make certain things. Like
I don't think he's gonna like be on the road.
Heyman.
Yeah, kind of like a Heyman. Man. Well, Heyman's always there with Brock. Brock's not full time.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't see Paul Ellering, 200 days on the road like with them. So we'll see how that works out.
Maybe like their send off, like he would turn on them and he'd be with another team in NXT when they leave. He'd be with Heavy Machinery.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Real quick, I know it's not NXT. NXT the past 2 weeks has been tremendous, especially, and I will give credit where it's due. I did not actually watch it when it happened, but I will say I promise I'd check it out, guys. Cassius Ohno and Johnny Gargano was fucking awesome. That was a great match. Anyone that didn't see that match like 2 weeks ago, go check it out. Where are we at now in Clash Champions, Logan?
Well, we're at the tag team match.
We are. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, correct?
Yes.
Did anyone care about this storyline? Or did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Well, before we even get into this, I do got some news.
Okay.
Logan's
the
braggers.
news going around. This is good news. The news going around is the reason why Daniel Bryan got physical in this match with Kevin Owens pushing him is Daniel Bryan is officially cleared to return to in-ring action in the WWE.
Are you
Wait,
sure
where
about
did you hear
that?
this? Where did you hear this?
Because you said NXT is going to get an hour TV like soon, and Raw's going to be 2 hours. I still couldn't find anything when you
Bronson,
said that.
Can you confirm this on your end too on any of the sites here reporting that? I'm looking it up. No way.
I
is
know that Daniel Bryant he's been training again.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think he's cleared.
Yeah,
because he's been training with Brie because Brie wants to come back.
I just got horrible deja vu. I feel like this just happened.
I'm just letting you know the insides, okay? Don't me.
Me?
No, Bronson.
No, I don't mean you. I meant just Bella's coming back in general. Like, I don't want to see that.
They want to come. They want to come back. They're trying to come back. And here's my thing: is how does somebody retire at WrestleMania? And then she's like, "Oh, I had a baby, and I can come back." I thought you retired. Retired means you gone, bitch.
Yeah, but wrestling, no wrestler ever stays retired. That's the problem. I mean, Terry Funk is the perfect example of that.
He probably started it all with his old ass.
Yes, he certainly did.
Real quick, apparently, since I popped on the news site, I didn't know Justin Credible was drunk at an indie show this weekend, and he put a video out apologizing.
What else is new? It's just incredible.
And
yeah, my friend was telling me about that. It's funny. Also,
Dalton Castle, I actually wanted to mention, won the ROH title. Shout out to him. Dalton Castle, he's got a bright future. I really
Didn't Cody Rhodes just redo the title too?
And his hair and all that.
Yeah. Well, okay. Who cares about the hair? I was talking about the title. I understand that you're a little butthurt about some shit, but you didn't want to talk about it. I'm talking about the title. Didn't Cody Rhodes? I'll hang up.
I didn't even know they changed the RH title.
Yeah. So didn't he just? I'm not confirming this because I'm not Logan. But I thought I saw something where Cody Rhodes just like redesigned the ROH title, and then now he just lost it to Peacock Boy. Right?
Logan's mad at you now. He's not going to respond to you. You hurt his feelings.
Logan, go ahead, take your pants off, buddy. Put your glasses on. We're fine. We still love you.
I wouldn't answer either, Logan. Bullshit.
Oh.
I don't even know what we're talking about now. Yes.
It's not official. It's a rumor that apparently there's a chance.
Don't say the word confirmed and make us look like assholes.
Okay, my bad. I read it wrong. My bad.
You can't get your news from Facebook. It's all bullshit. Remember that.
And apparently, you can't get your news from Logan.
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
I'm just playing.
The Daniel Bryan thing that's
be a pal.
The Daniel Bryan thing that's going around is that he could be wrestling either at WrestleMania one time or SummerSlam next year.
I see him, if anything, now him and Shane in Mania, and
yeah.
Oh God, what a waste.
Now for the NXT thing, the NXT thing was on Twitter,
Twitter.
The thing, it said something about it. They were trying to see how NXT would do on a USA and see if it would go well, and if it did well,
it got good.
Didn't it go well?
Yeah.
How are the ratings this week? Because it was on TV this week.
It did well. It did like 800,000 viewers.
More than expected.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And supposedly what they were trying to do is take that third hour of Raw and take that off and use it for NXT on Wednesdays, cut it off Raw and make Raw 2 hours.
So you still
That
get
was
your
the.
third hour that you love so much in a
But
way.
it's NXT. But
Yeah.
it's
Would,
NXT.
would
That would be
NXT
so
air in
good.
like an 11 p.m. time slot on Wednesday, where that third hour Raw would have been 11 p.m. Or excuse me, 10 p.m., not 11 p.m. You know what I mean?
NXT would be on Wednesdays at 9 o'clock, just like on the
Okay.
WWE Network.
So in a way, they still
So-
kind of make up. They kind of take a little cut, I would say, Megan.
Well, so
They
here's my thing.
They actually
Can
get
I-
more money off of NXT. Sorry, Megan.
No. It's fine. So here's my thing is if we go back to 2 hour Raw, which it used to be, I mean, you got to think back to when they had Heat and they had, Saturday night and all these different things. I think it works better to have it spanned out because wasn't SmackDown originally an hour?
No, it was always
No, it was always 2 hours?
yeah.
99.
Okay. So, I mean, but having these like shorter spans throughout the week, I think they're going to get more ratings. I think the issue with the ratings now is Raw is 3 hours. Come
Yes.
on.
Too much.
They got it.
Like, I
They have
love
to
wrestling,
know.
but Jesus Christ.
Look what it did to Nitro. When Nitro became 3 hours, that was its downfall in a way I feel like never gets talked about either. It was too much.
Yeah.
And
It was
they
too
have to
much.
know backstage that it's too much when they watch it themselves. They have to watch their own product to follow through.
Well, I would think so. So I think having I don't know if maybe every night is good, but like have NXT on a Saturday or something, or even a Friday night where people are like, "Well, I'm not going out anywhere. Why not turn on some wrestling?" Because I watch the local stuff that we have here on the West Coast. I watch that stuff on Friday nights at midnight if I'm awake. Because it's wrestling. Who is, what better to do than sit at home at midnight and watch wrestling?
But I feel like Friday and Saturday is like maybe the worst possible days. Because I
Yeah.
remember when SmackDown
Well, yeah.
originally went to Friday nights, I remember like Vince and those guys were pissed and like they were kind of forced into that. They weren't happy and like their ratings drop. It's just not like you said, but a lot of people do go out, so you do take a big cut. And I feel like they want NXT to appeal to that younger demographic too, and like the nerds, the hardcores, so to speak. Because what it is, stick to what got you to the dance. I agree with that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, the younger demographic, they're probably going out on Friday and Saturday. It's going to be interesting.
Well, then put it on Sundays at 8:00.
That'd be good. Everyone's settling
Everybody's
down.
home.
Everyone's
Everybody's settling
hungover,
down. 8
laying
o'clock.
down. Yep. Exactly.
Put on 1 hour of NXT. I mean, I can see, and then cut back to 2 hours, and then, throw in your special, the tributes, the troops, and all that kind of stuff. Throw that stuff in there.
The only problem you have with that is if you do it on Sunday when you have actual pay-per-views, how you would kind of work that. Just have like a different day of the week that week every time. I don't know.
I think if they do it, it's probably going to be Wednesdays like it already is.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to change the day. I'm just saying. Other ways, you know what I mean? They could put it.
I mean, there's just ways that you can reach out to people and have it be more,
Speaking of other ways, guys, you could be doing with guys. In this match alone, you have Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Nakamura. Speaking of other things, you could be booking these guys in this shit that I wasn't invested in at all. I know, Logan, you kind of like the outcome in a way. I don't care. It's more McMahon fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I hate McMahon. Hopefully one day he's off TV.
I honestly, if the rumors are true that Daniel Bryan could be wrestling in the near future or whatever, if that's what really
should be Miz,
this whole storyline was.
You still there?
Storylines,
I don't know.
Come to be, then that's it's kind of for these four guys to be in this kind of storyline, just to get Daniel Bryan to return. That's it. You know what I mean? Just to get tension between him and Shane. It's kind of stupid.
If Daniel Bryan does ever come back for one more match, it shouldn't be Shane anyway. It should be The Miz. Tell the story full circle.
Right?
Or him and Kevin Owens. That'd be an amazing match. Him and Sami Zayn. I mean, there's a lot of guys that.
Yeah, I feel like him and Zayn, that match should kind of be like a Jericho and Shawn Michaels, kind of like looking in the mirror, passing it down to remind you. Because Sami Zayn runs me Brian. Sorry.
I agree.
Megan, did you hate this whole angle too, like we usually do with this kind of shit?
Well, I guess so. I get the Sammy and Kevin tag team. I get that they're friends, they're doing their thing. Why Randy Orton and Chuck? I don't understand that part.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because I'm kind of, so here's my thing is I'm kind of not into, I've been watching the shows, but I can't really remember them. So that's kind of what's happening with me right now. So
The
the
older
build-up,
episodes where Randy Orton wasn't trying to be cool and grow out a man bun is what you remember.
what the fuck is he doing with his hair? Seriously.
But
And I
it's
know
I'm
you
looking
yelled
at
at
him
me.
right now, and
I
he's
know
like, hey,
you
look
yelled
at
at me
me.
for talking about hair earlier, but how can you not talk about his fucking thing he's got going on right now?
So it seems like he's going through a midlife crisis because his hair right now, I'm looking right at him. His hair is definitely Randy Orton in his early 20s.
I'm looking.
Yes, I
right
was
When he
saying that.
first
Yeah,
came out.
definitely. Yep.
And it's like, are you having a midlife crisis because what, is he hitting 40? He's pushing 40, right?
I think he was
Logan,
born
you
in
know how you
1980.
love
I think.
putting up your polls on
Think
Twitter for Cruise Control every week. I'm going to put up one this week. Should Logan grow out the same haircut as Randy Orton? I'm going to put it up, see what you guys vote.
You should.
We'll read
You
the
should.
results
Randy
live with
Orton-
Michael this week. Stand tuned for that.
Randy Orton's 37.
He's 37. Okay.
He's not old. It's
So
crazy
is
because
Brock.
AJ Styles is older than Randy Orton.
Well, Randy
Styles is
Orton-
40.
Well,
Styles
Randy
started
Orton
in like
also
97,
was young.
98 also.
Yeah, but I mean, Orton, we've only known Orton on the WWE level. He was wasn't he the youngest world champion?
Yeah.
Is that still his reign?
I think so,
He
yes.
still has that reign.
I think so.
So, I mean, he's not an older guy, but I think we got used to the snake. And so I think the hair's throwing everybody off, and we're not really feeling it because when he had the hair, he wasn't Randy Orton the Viper. He was Randy Orton the fucking cokehead that partied and, was trying to be Ric
cigarettes from
Flair.
fans on camera.
Yes.
You
let's
know?
say- allegedly, let's say. Yes.
So
I like to
openly
picture
admits that
Sorry, Megan.
Randy Orton openly admits that he was on massive coke back then. So
I like to picture my Randy Orton on those Kuwaiti interviews yelling at the news anchor for calling him fragile. I don't know if you've ever seen that clip.
No, that wasn't Kuwait. That was a Mexican.
Oh,
in
sorry, I couldn't
Mexico.
remember off the top of my head. I look like an
Yeah,
asshole.
yeah. He said, "Oh, you seem fragile," and then he just starts bullying him. I was like, "What an asshole!"
He
That
asked
was-
him like what he eats for breakfast and really weird questions. Randy Orton
You know-
was threatened to headbutt his skull or something.
Actually, you know what? Since you mentioned Travis, since you mentioned Kuwait, that reminds me of. Remember?
You're gonna
this is
say
like-
Vader, aren't you?
Yes,
it's a Vader
yes.
reference.
Yep.
Look at that.
Yep.
Can't teach that. Yeah, that was a shoot. He went to jail.
How is Randy Orton the youngest world champion when right here it says The Rock and The Undertaker was 26 years old?
Randy Orton was 20 years old when he won it.
Or 22, something like that. Like he was.
yeah, he was
SummerSlam
He
04,
was
he beat Benoit. He was 20.
4.
Yeah, because he was born 1980. He's April
Because
Fool's
Randy
is his
was
birthday.
27 years old. It was on WWE.com.
Huh. I thought he was like 24 when he won it. I don't know.
And honestly, all respect, Randy Orton.
That's not right. Look, that's not right. Look, it says here SummerSlam 2004, so he was 24.
In all respect, Randy Orton, the only reason you broke Brock's streak of being the youngest is because Brock pissed off company at the time, left for the NFL.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
Yep.
the only reason Randy Orton was ever given that. It's kind of like a fuck you to Brock. I feel like they would have kept that as Brock. Because they love some Brock. They always love themselves some Brock when they have him on their roster.
Yeah.
Logan, did you love you some tag match here with two refs and a weird... I will say one thing none of us mentioned tonight. Corey Graves and Byron Saxton were kind of magic tonight. It was all credit due to Byron Saxton this week. He was playing the annoying asshole really well. And it comes off kind of reversed, like Corey Graves comes off as the babyface because Byron's so cringy. But is that the right kind of... Like, I don't... As much as I enjoy Corey Graves, I don't know how they're trying to use him. Like, like he'll build up a heel, then he'll build up the same baby face. He'll say heel things, but then he'll talk about respect 2 seconds later. It's like, either be a Bobby Heenan or be something else. I don't know. Pick basically. But I'm digging it for the good parts of it. I feel like the lackluster parts of the show, it was easier to notice, obviously, because commentary is, but it was really good tonight. I liked it.
Wait, speaking of Byron, fucking Daniel Bryan on SmackDown just shitting all over him. That was great stuff. Where he was basically calling him a stooge. I mean, wow,
Yeah.
that was amazing stuff.
At least they know now, like, they don't try to portray Byron as cool anymore. They kind of portray him as Carlton. Like, they learned from memes.
Wait.
and
They
stuff.
tried to portray him as cool. I never got that. I guess that.
Well, at first, kind of like, okay, serious, I should say. Like,
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Not the butt of every fucking joke, basically.
Yeah. Carlton, though. I get that reference, yeah. He's definitely a Carlton type.
Logan, what did you think? Did they have Gorilla and Bobby S chemistry in your opinion?
No, just no. Byron, you know my opinion on Byron Saxton. He comes off as cringy and it just.
Is he a creeper, Logan?
Is he supposed to, though?
I think he does come off as. I think that is his gimmick. Is come off as a pedophile with.
Not a
pancakes.
pedophile. I didn't say. Oh my god.
I just said creeper. I didn't say a
Jesus.
pedophile.
Yeah, what are you saying, Logan?
I said pedophile.
Your new gimmick is over the line, Logan Myers, right here. Just birthing it.
Whoa.
Whoa. Hold on to your butts. The match.
Well,
the fucking match. What did you
it.
think of the match, guys?
Okay.
Wow.
So can anybody fill me in? What's going to happen with this fast count? So again, I just finished the match, and Daniel Bryan's count was super fast. Like he just went bam, bam, bam.
So Bronson,
so
what do we have here with this outcome? With we have two tweeners.
Yeah, what's going to happen with this?
He's gonna maybe they turn Danielson heel, maybe, or Shane McMahon turns heel. I think Shane should be a heel. I don't think people should be cheering Shane McMahon. Then again, I dislike Shane McMahon very, very much. That's just me.
The backstage promo he cut with Daniel Bryan earlier in the show we didn't bring up was horrible. Horrible.
I missed that. I didn't even pay. Okay.
You lucky man.
Well, it's like, so I like Shane O'Mac. I've liked Shane O'Mac since back in the day. I don't know. I've always kind of, if it comes down to a McMahon, I am going to, out of all of them, I'm going to go with Shane.
I'm going to go with Stephanie just because there's something to stare at. Sorry, but it's slammed.
No, but you got to admit, Stephanie McMahon is way better on the mic than Shane McMahon has ever been.
Well, yeah.
In all seriousness, though, give me Vince in his prime as a heel any day over any of them. He's the best.
Of course, yes. No, give me Linda McMahon. Linda McMahon.
And then just stop with the McMahons. End it in 2000 when it should have stopped. And then bring it back sporadically, but not boom, authority for 4 years. One thing there,
and not to mention look how strong he was booked in that Survivor Series match. I mean, come on. And Rude and Nakamura got eliminated like that. That was some shitty booking.
Is Nakamura one of the more disappointing call-ups it's the end of 2017 now, guys? Would you say? Just not panned out how they thought he would by this time?
Oh, I blame creative. Nakamura,
right?
That's creative's fault. That's shitty WWE creative. No, that's all creative fucking that up.
This artist,
here you go.
Prince Iakea bullshit.
Prince Iakea. Wow, that's a name you don't hear from anymore. Holy shit.
There's a reason you don't hear that name, because it was a terrible gimmick. And it's pretty much this artist formerly known as, just let him be Nakamura. What is this extra? It's just annoying, this artist thing. For one, the dumb rushing him into the title picture, which I thought was too soon. They should have kept him wait till the title till around this time of year and then start making him a possibility to win the Rumble. And I still think he's salvageable if you go Nakamura and Styles. He doesn't have to win the Rumble, I'm saying, but
people still like him, so he's not totally dead in the water. So
Exactly. He's not damaged. He's damaged goods, but he's not broken yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not Bray Wyatt.
Exactly. Yeah. My God, this man's hot takes this week. I'm loving it. The actual tag match that I know all of us are avoiding because it really wasn't that good. If anything, the only things I really liked in this match was, of course, Kevin Owens selling the desperation for every pinfall because their jobs were on the line. I thought he did the shrieking, yelling really well in this. These two have perfect chemistry together. Of course they would, Zayn and Owens. I feel like the crowd was kind of in this match until the end. Logan, overall as a match, though, booking, finish, what did you think?
Booking wise, like I said, the only questions that come out of this is Daniel Bryan returning. That's it.
Yeah,
that is it. Mm-hmm. There's no questions on what the future holds for Orton. There's no questions for Sammy, Owens, or Nakamura because really there's no long-term solutions for them right now because they're going to be in the Rumble. Yeah, it could have been a SmackDown main event that could have just been, could have saw it. And they advertised this as the main event, and it wasn't the main event. And that's the funny part about it.
Which I'm
And
fine
that's
with because I'm an old school kind of
yeah.
dickhead, and I like the title kind of being it, even though Gender was in it. I like that it went last.
Well, I'll say it. I'll say this was by far probably Ginger's best match ever that he's ever had. Probably.
I would agree. We'll get to that in a second. We definitely will.
Yeah.
What did you think of the match, Bronson? Tag match.
Oh yeah, I didn't care for it, so yeah, it was meh, you know. Again, I'm sick of the McMahons and stuff, and like Logan. I'm just agreeing with Logan what he said. What's gonna happen on SmackDown? Is he gonna actually wrestle? We'll have to wait and see.
Beat him more, Logan. Right into the main event, WWE title.
Well, I do want to say one more thing. The reason why Dolph Ziggler had a shocking U.S. title win was because
he resigned.
No, not because he resigned. WWE wants to try to keep him, and they don't want to lose him. That is the reason why he won the belt.
Well, does Ziggler even sell anything? Does he really bring anybody in? He's Dolph Ziggler.
Exactly.
He's an 80s metal guy.
Guess,
he's Van Hammer, 2017.
Oof.
I guess they like the way he can go in the ring, I guess. I mean, that's really the only thing you can say positive about him. He's okay on the mic. That's about it.
They need to make Van Hammer his mentor now. Like he's an older version and bring him back kind of like a Virgil. I like
wow. And only 3 people would get that. Like, oh.
And they're all on this show. What do you know? Main event, WWE title match, AJ Styles, Jinder Mahal. I got to agree, Bronson. I saw Roderick. I put it in our chat. Roderick strong movesets out of Jinder. And this the gut buster that was kind of like the Cedric move. Wow. I mean, this wasn't. I would not say, if anything, this was not what you would think. It wasn't AJ just carrying Jinder. Yeah, in a way it was, but I feel like Jinder, he didn't totally shit the bed like he usually did.
Yeah, he actually worked his ass off in this match, which is saying something, because most of his matches was like, oh look, the Singh twins are gonna distract the ref, he's gonna fucking low blow him and then do his camel clutch fucking move, whatever it's called. So yeah, this was different.
First time in the history, Slam Pigs, and it took to the very end of the goddamn year, but I can finally say a main event for the title with Jinder Mahal didn't leave me with a bad taste in my mouth, regardless of the outcome. It was a fine match. I think it told a good story, Logan, at the beginning where he hurt AJ's ribs. You know, how that was, I thought it came off well. And of course, it made Styles look strong, and I think Styles desperately needed this, considering losing to Balor, Brock. What did you think of the match, Logan? And then Megan.
Well, personally, I like the fact that he worked on one body part, and and I also like the fact that even though AJ Styles used that body part, with the 450 splash off the ropes, he didn't, go right for the pin and act like nothing happened to his ribs during the match. And then the commentators also did really, really well talking about, the injury, and all that. That's one positive about it. This match, like you and Braun said, Jinder did not do bad in this match, and he actually did some positives. That gutbuster was not bad. For once, I kind of wouldn't mind seeing another match between these two.
Well,
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
Maybe not a pay-per-view. Maybe not a pay-per-view. Maybe a Smackdown.
I hope we get Owens and Styles at the Rumble at least. Make the Owens angle, mean something. Like, if you're going to turn Bryan, then he would put Owens in a title match, considering if he's in, like, a stable with him. That would make sense if you're going to heal him.
What about Sami Zayn getting an opportunity?
I would be fine with that. See how it would play out.
Because we've seen Owens get, chances against.
I feel like the Royal Rumble over the
US
years
title
has become like one of those pay-per-views where like they take chances with guys. Like Hardcore Holly got a title match at a Royal Rumble against Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, well that's because he fucking.
I remember Rey Mysterio and Undertaker one year were like a title match at the Rumble. Like a lot of guys you normally wouldn't see. So maybe I could see that, Logan.
Sami Zayn. I mean, if you really want to push Sami Zayn to be a good heel, and you want Kevin Owens to be like, it's a Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and not Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, why don't you push Sami Zayn into that main event picture, at least for somebody different than just Kevin Owens. Since they fought for the U.S. title for so long and so many title opportunities and matches, why not Sami Zayn?
Make it Rusev. Fuck it.
I mean, if it was Rusev, I would be happy. I would. Because
The
I think those two would
the incomparable Megan Starr. What did you think?
fucking put it in English.
There you go.
So I'm actually currently watching that match, and it's all right. I get what you guys are saying about, the ribs, and he's working it, and I see, Jinder so far. I mean, he's selling some stuff. I mean, I think this is really one of his best matches. But again, that's probably the booking with AJ, because, but I mean, again, I'm watching it currently right now, so I don't have too much to say other than, I mean, they seem to be working each other pretty well here.
Is your on-the-spot report, Megan Starr?
I know. I'm watching it currently right now.
Do you have the sound
I have a
up or
question
off?
for you, Megan.
Are you watching it with the sound on or off?
It's really super, super low. So I'm not getting too much of the commentary.
Maybe that has something to do with your experience. Because, I feel like go back and watch any classic match, and without the sound, and it's just...
Yeah.
Go watch Logan and Andre without the sound, guys. Tell me how it was.
Oh, God, no, don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, commentary definitely sells a bunch of stuff. I mean, they're there for a reason, and...
But that was my thing. That's the reason why I said, the commentary in that match, it really helped Jinder Mahal get over in this match, working that body part. You know what I mean? Yeah. I have a question for you, Megan.
What's that?
Was it a good... so far, has it been a good thing that the Singh brothers have not been involved?
I mean,
I think... So... Here's my thing is I think for Jinder, he needed them to not be involved.
I mean, they got involved a little bit towards the end, but I mean, not as much as usual.
I mean, so I think that's the problem with Jinder is he was known as this kind of scrawny, dorky dude, part of, the, 3-man band. And then he comes back and then, he's all been working out, quote unquote.
Yeah, taking his vitamins.
Yeah,
Nobody diets like him. Remember that promo talking smack this year he cut.
So, I mean, he came back as, this thing, and they were trying to push him into something, and then they had these guys, which it makes sense to have these guys in with him. It makes sense. But I think he needed this moment where they're not really that involved, because it's really kind of showing what he can do, which is what he... should have done a few times more when he was the champion. Just saying.
That's fair. Fair play, Miss Megan. Guys, that was Clash of Champions. That's how the show ended. I thought, okay, one of my friends, Melanie Tettleton, on Twitter, tweeted out, and I retweeted it. She put, the lights go out after Styles wins. They come on and you imagine Neville standing over Styles' body. So that got in my head, that shit. So I was waiting on that. That didn't happen. It went off of Styles. And that's fine. I think AJ, like I said, deserved a nice little win and a nice little rub here to end the show for once. A baby face coming over on the show, pretty much. You don't see that a lot anymore. Fade to black, that was classic. Maybe. Around the board, what do you guys grade this pay-per-view as a whole? Logan.
First, maybe that. Maybe that's his next challenger. Neville.
Maybe, that'd be nice. That'd be a great match for sure.
It'd be a good match.
Before we give the grades, Travis, I have a question for everybody. The next pay-per-view in 6 weeks, January 28th, is the Royal Rumble. Is there any early predictions on who wins the Rumble out of all three of us?
Balor.
Or all four of us?
Balor.
Oh, you say Balor. Balor? What about you, Megan?
I'm going to go with Balor or Nakamura. I can't pick between the two because those two really need a push, and it's going to be both brands, right?
Yep.
It's the Royal Rumble. So, I mean, It's gonna. I'm gonna go with one of those two.
Eric Rowan. Why not?
What about you, Bronson?
So to be different, I agree with both those answers, but I'm gonna choose something different. I'll say Kevin Steen.
Mm.
Gonna be a hipster too, and he's gonna say Steen. He's not even gonna say Owens.
Steen, right?
I find myself doing that all the time with Steen/Owens. Call him Steen a lot.
Or do you ever call Balor Prince Devitt?
No.
Yes, all the time.
I don't. Because
Well,
I never saw a lot of him as Devitt. Like when I started seeing Bullet Club stuff, it was right when he was leaving and Styles kind of came in. Then
So what about with Tommy? Do you call him Kenta? I know him as Kenta. I don't.
I call him Kenta.
Yeah.
Logan, what do you name your peanut butter?
I gotta go with Nakamura. I think it's gonna be Nakamura and Styles at Mania.
That is a nerd dream match right there, man.
Right?
We all have the rose-colored glasses on, and no better way I'd end a lovely evening with you, lads and ladies. But until then, what do we grade this? I'll go first. I'll give it a B- probably. It wasn't awful. It was enough to, and like you said before we started, Bronson, it kind of passed by a little faster than I thought it would. So just for that alone, the tag match was great. Rusev Day, and that's my grade.
Go ahead, Megan.
I'm gonna give it a C+. Because it was solid. It had its good points. I mean, the tag match was good. People stood out that maybe we didn't think would stand out. So yeah, C+.
What about you, Bron?
Is he there?
Bron?
Oh, I give it a 5 out of 10.
There you go. He busted out some tuna meltzer for you, Logan.
Oh. So, a 5 out of 10, is that like a C?
Oh, I don't know. I was doing my own rating, but
Sounds like C.
yeah, or C or D plus. I don't know. Whatever. Like it was very like if Jinder would have won the title, it would have been an F all the way. But because he didn't, yeah. So I guess go with C. I guess if we're going, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I gotta honestly for me to end this right now, I gotta give it a Michael grade here. I'm gonna go with Travis's B-. That tag team match was great.
There you go. Next time we're coming at you on the post show. Michael will be back, Logan. You, me, and Michael, and whoever else happens to stop by. He's going to make the big four. He's given his word. So look for that. Until then, I want to thank all you guys for joining me tonight. As always, all you guys who stopped by the chat, all you guys who retweets on Twitter, it means the world. Guys, Logan, where can they catch you at? Until next time.
You guys can check me out on Twitter at LoganMyers144. Go check me out on Future Wrestling Podcast with Broski, Eric, and also Bronson Tron on Future Wrestling Podcast. YouTube, go like, subscribe, and enjoy.
Very good, very good. My man, Bronson, thank you again, buddy. Look forward to having you back on the future project. Until next time, one more time, where can they check you out on Twitter? I know it's long and it's hard to remember.
Bronson Tron at Twitter.
Boom. Suck it, everyone. Megan, thank you as always for doing this. I know it. You got to take time out of your schedule, but where can they check you out one more time on Twitter and all that goodness?
All right, you can find me on everything at the Megan Star. That's 2 E's and 2 R's.
And here we go, deep breath. As always, follow me on Twitter at TheHibikTMD. Check out the Reset Button, Slamfix Podcast, Slamfix Roots Control, Union Smack, Never Drew a Diamond. Catch me on First Thing in the Morning with Broski, Robbie Radford, and Drew Bourne on First Thing in the Morning at Kayfabe Today Podcast. Until next time, this is Slamfix Podcast.
Travis,
and Logan,
don't forget the new show that
right
you're on.
at the goddamn tail end. What, Logan?
Don't forget the new show you're on. Come on, son. Come on, son.
I was not a fan of a new show, Logan.
You're on the You're on FOW Rebound. Come on,
FOW
son.
Rebound can be found on Future Wrestling Podcast 93. It's got to be 93, and it's got to be
Gotta be.
Podcast.